in an essay entitled "Enough of 9/11 Conspiracy Theories Already," Matthew Rothschild of The Progressive said, "Here's what the conspiracists believe. 9/11 was an inside job. Members of the Bush administration ordered it, not Osama bin Laden. Arab hijackers may not have done the deed. The Twin Towers fell not because of the impact of the airplanes and the ensuing fires, but because of explosives. I'm amazed at how many people give credence to these theories." He did not have a paragraph saying, "Here's what the government's conspiracists believe. 19 hijackers with knives and box cutters defeated the most sophisticated defense system in history. Hani Hanjour, who could barely fly a Piper Cub, flew an astounding trajectory to crash Flight 77 into the Pentagon, the most well-protected building on the planet. Other hijacker pilots, by flying planes into 2 buildings of the World Trade Center, caused 3 of them to collapse at virtually free-fall speed, straight down. I'm amazed at how many people give credence to these theories." It did not occur to Rothschild to say this because he uses conspiracy theory as a term of abuse for conspiracy theories that he does not believe. A senior editor for In These Times, writing about his experience in 2005 of seeing my C-SPAN lecture, 9/11 and American Empire, wrote that, having always thought highly of Griffin, it was shocking to see him pushing a radical conspiracy theory about 9/11 on C-SPAN. What could have transformed this sober, reflective scholar into a conspiracy theorist? The truth, of course, was that I had been a conspiracy theorist all along, but I didn't become a conspiracy theorist in his eyes until I rejected the government's conspiracy theory in favor of the alternative. If these writers can't think in these terms, all the more could they not dare to think that the reason I changed from the one theory to the other was that I finally got empirical. I went from knowing virtually nothing about the relevant facts to knowing quite a few of those facts. Once we realize that both major theories about 9/11 are conspiracy theories, we can then see that we must evaluate them in the normal way. Ask which of the 2 theories stands up best in terms of the relevant facts. We must get empirical. But it might still be thought, we need not spend our time studying all those facts, all those tiresome details about standard procedures, timelines, the maximum temperature of office building fires, the melting point of steel, the testimonies of people at the World Trade Center who said they heard explosions going off, and so on, because we can know a priori that the alternative theory, according to which 9/11 was orchestrated or at least assisted by the Bush-Cheney administration, is false. We can know this because we can know that that administration would not have deliberately killed some 3,000 of its own citizens. However, if we get empirical about that a priori assumption, we can see that it is falsified by other facts that we know. Here's one such fact. After 9/11, the air at the World Trade Center site was extremely toxic, containing many times the safe level of asbestos and many other dangerous particles. Although this was known, the White House ordered the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, to lie, to tell the people the air is safe to breathe. The EPA followed this order. As a result, many of the 40,000 rescue and cleanup workers wore no protective gear. Many thousands of these workers already have permanently debilitative diseases. About 100 have already died of cancer, and cancer is a slow-developing disease. So experts have predicted that more people will die over the next 10 to 15 years from breathing the toxic air than died on 9/11 itself. We have no a priori grounds to believe that the Bush administration would have been too morally sensitive to orchestrate 9/11. Let us look at a second common a priori reason given for dismissing the possibility that 9/11 might have been an inside job. The claim that so many people would have had to be involved that someone would have talked by now. The general assumption behind this is that big government operations cannot be kept secret. However, the Manhattan Project to build an atomic bomb involved over 100,000 workers, yet it was kept so secret that even Vice President Harry Truman did not learn about it until he became president. Another example, in 1957, the United States provoked and participated actively in a civil war in Indonesia that resulted in 40,000 deaths. This illegal war was kept secret from the American people until a book about it came out in 1995. Secrets can be kept, especially when those who know the secrets are likely to lose their jobs or even go to jail if they talk. And if that prospect is not sufficient, there are other well-known means for keeping people silent. Furthermore, people who talk generally do so in the context of a criminal investigation in which telling the truth is the only way to save their own skins. And yet with 9/11, there has not been any real investigation at all, let alone a criminal investigation. So it should not be a big surprise that no one has talked. There is, however, still another reason why many journalists believe they need not examine the facts about 9/11 for themselves. They think they should rely on the official reports about 9/11 that have been put out by the 9/11 Commission and by NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, along with some semi-official accounts, such as the book Debunking 9/11 Myths, put out by Popular Mechanics. The assumption behind this belief that these are neutral organizations who have put out scientific studies. Nothing could be further from the truth. The 9/11 Commission was run by Philip Zelikow, who was virtually a member of the Bush administration. Indeed, he was even brought in by his close friend and former co-author Condoleezza Rice to write the 2002 version of the National Security Strategy of the United States, which used 9/11 as a basis for developing a new doctrine of preventive warfare. Was a Zelikow-run commission likely to reveal any evidence that would suggest that the 9/11 attacks were orchestrated by the Bush administration? The National Institute of Standards and Technology is an agency of the Commerce Department and therefore an agency of the Bush-Cheney administration. An administration that had become notorious for distorting science for partisan political purposes. Indeed, over 11,000 scientists, including 52 Nobel Prize winners, have endorsed a statement accusing the Bush administration of engaging in distortion of scientific knowledge for partisan political ends. Can we assume a priori that scientists working for this administration would not distort facts while they are writing a report about why the World Trade Center buildings collapsed? The semi-official status of the Popular Mechanics book is demonstrated by the fact that it was endorsed by Condoleezza Rice's State Department as providing excellent material debunking 9/11 conspiracy theories. Popular Mechanics says of itself that it was ideally equipped to research the evidence about 9/11 because of its more than 100 years of expertise in science and technology.